Good morning, and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. I'm your host for Thursday, Liisa Murray. Today is Thursday, September 10th, and the weather today looks warm and rainy, as you probably see when you look out your window. We've got a lot of rain coming down. It's a high of 82, and it looks like it's going to continue throughout the day. So a good day to be watching TV with us, a good day to be reading or doing something indoors. On this day in history, in 1960, New York Yankee Mickey Mantle hits a 643-foot home run over the right field roof in Detroit. I can't even imagine how high that is. In 1967, the U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis in Forest Hills, New York, Billie Jean King defeats England's Anne Hayden-Jones 11-9, 6-4 for the first of 4 U.S. singles crowns. In 1984, the first episode of the daily syndicated version of Jeopardy with Alex Trebek as host premieres, a show that I've certainly been watching, it feels like, my whole life, and I bet we've got some Jeopardy fans out there as well. In 1989, 5 days after hitting a home run for the Yankees in a 12-2 win over the Mariners, Major League Baseball and NFL player Deion Sanders returns a punt 68 yards for a touchdown, his first. That's crazy. I still can't imagine someone being in both the MLB and the NFL at the same time. You've got to be an amazing athlete. In 1992, Lucy in the Peanuts comics raises her psychiatric help cost from 5 cents to 47 cents. What a jump in cost. You know, healthcare costs are going up everywhere, in comics and in the world. In 1997, Mark McGwire joins Babe Ruth as the only players to hit 50 home runs in 2 consecutive years. And in the year 2000, the musical Cats closes on Broadway. You know, I had to put something musical in there. There's been so much sports stuff on this day in history. The end of an era with the musical Cats. In 2004, Crash, directed by Paul Haggis and starring Don Cheadle and Sandra Bullock, premieres at the Toronto Film Festival. It would go on to be a very controversial winner for Best Picture in 2006. I still have some friends who are big Oscar fans, and they think that is the worst film that has ever won Best Picture. So, wonder what you think. Have you ever seen that movie? In famous birthdays, in 1918, Rin Tin Tin, a German shepherd dog who was a Hollywood star, was born. And he actually lived a good long time for a dog. He died in 1932. May he rest in peace. In 1935, Mary Oliver, American poet and winner of the 1984 Pulitzer Prize, was born in Maple Heights, Ohio, a favorite poet of many of the therapists here. In 1939, Mother Flawless Sabrina, American LGBT activist, drag queen, and pioneer for transgender people and drag queens, was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1945, Jose Feliciano, Puerto Rican singer-songwriter of songs such as Light My Fire and Feliz Navidad, was born in Lares, Puerto Rico. And in 1960, this is one of my favorites, Colin Firth, English actor best known for Bridget Jones's Diary, The King's Speech, and my personal favorite, the BBC miniseries of Pride and Prejudice, where he is extremely dreamy, is born in Grayshot, Hampshire. And in 1982, Misty Copeland, American ballerina and the first African-American principal dancer at the American Ballet Theater, was born in Kansas City, Missouri. Now moving on to some birthdays a little closer to home, let's take a look at who's got some birthdays today in staff and residents. So staff birthdays today, Jacqueline from nursing, Shaji from finance, and Josephine from nursing administration. And in terms of resident birthdays, today is Gloria M. and Cora W. Hi, Cora. Cora's a resident on my floor, and I wish her a very, very happy birthday. So a very happy birthday to all of you from us here at Good Morning Hebrew Home. So today's meal, I'm excited for your lunch today. So your lunch today is the kind of thing that I would go out and buy somewhere, so I'm excited. It's a chicken chipotle, white rice, black beans, corn, pico de gallo, and non-dairy sour cream. So it's like one of those chipotle burrito bowls type situation. The dessert is pears. For dinner, the soup is Italian vegetables. The entree is vegetable cheese lasagna with garlic bread, and dessert is vanilla ice cream. Viewer mail. So as a reminder, please send me viewer mail. I love to hear what you think. You know, send us in anything. If it's about grandparents, if it's about Chipotle burrito bowls, if it's about Rin Tin Tin, call in 2813 and let us know. So today, in honor of upcoming Grandparents' Day, this Sunday, September 13th, my special guests today are my grandparents. No, they're not in the studio. For some reason, the producers wouldn't fly them out from California for the occasion. I can't imagine several reasons why. No, today I'll be sharing some pictures of their lives, share stories from their lives, and the great impact they have made on my life. I am hopeful that you will see a bit of yourself in them, or perhaps they will remind you of relationships you had with your grandparents. So we'll turn over to our screen area. So these are the names of my grandparents, Ben and Gloria Murray. They're my paternal grandparents. And as I said, they both live in California right now, but they've lived in several different places throughout their lives. On the next slide, you'll see a picture of my grandpa at age 8 with an adorable cat. My grandparents were both born a day apart from each other on September 4th and September 5th in 1926 in the very same hospital. They actually just celebrated their 94th birthdays last week. Happy birthdays, Grandma and Grandpa. My grandmother says she must have heard his cry across from the nursery and it imprinted on her, remembering him years later when they met, and that's why they fell in love. This is a picture of my grandfather when he was 8, sun in his eyes, holding the family cat on the cherry farm. This next picture, sorry, is a picture of my grandfather as a drum major in high school. He was very involved in extracurricular activities, the classic overachiever is how I think of him. I remember my grandmother saying she first noticed him when he ran for office in student government, thinking, who's this guy think he is? But then when she got to know him and knew his good heart, she said, who is this guy? The next picture is a picture of my grandmother, Gloria, at 19. Isn't she beautiful? I love that dress. I think that's so sweet. I think that's a picture of her with her niece. The picture wasn't labeled, so I don't know. She became a teacher and has had a lifelong connection with children. In the next photo, I love this picture of them. My grandfather joined the Army during World War II. Look at the two of them. This is home on furlough in spring 1943. And I love this picture of them both just happy teens, probably feeling a little embarrassed to stand in the front yard and take pictures of themselves, but they just look so happy. The next photo is from 1946. I mean, what a beautiful photo. I look at, this is him from after being in the Army for a few years. You can see he's gained some medals, some stripes, and I think it's just a beautiful photo. This is a photo of a glider. So recently, within the past year, my grandfather went to the Palm Springs Air Museum, where they had gliders just like the gliders he rode as a soldier in World War II. Military gliders have been used by the militaries of various countries for carrying troops, glider infantry, and heavy equipment to a combat zone, mainly during the Second World War. These engineless aircrafts, that's right, they're aircrafts, they have no engine in them, were towed into the air by other airplanes and most of the way to their target by military transport planes. Once released from the tow craft near the front, they were to land on any convenient open terrain close to target, hopefully with as little damage to the crew and cargo as possible, as most landing zones were far from ideal. The one-way nature of the missions meant that they were treated as semi-expendable, leading to the construction from common and inexpensive materials such as wood. Most nations seriously attempted to recover as many as possible to reuse them, so they were not originally intended to be disposable, although resource-rich nations like the US sometimes used them as if they were, since it was easier than recovering them. My grandpa said he remembered them being incredibly thin and that the pilot was the only one who was given a parachute. So many things were considered disposable in those gliders. The next photo is a happier photo. It's their wedding photo from 1946. So when he came back home from the Army, they got married. I love this photo. I love my grandmother's wedding dress in this as well. They also still look so young. You know, it's always crazy to see your grandparents who, if you're the grandchild, you've known them as adults their entire lives. And to look and see the rich life that they've lived before you knew them is really amazing. So after they got married, they had 4 boys, including my father. They must have had their hands full, as one of the oft-repeated family stories is of my father climbing the mantle as a toddler. So I can only imagine that my grandmother had her hands full. So the next picture is a picture of my grandfather. Some of my favorite memories of my grandparents are of visiting them in their house in Florida after they moved there to retire. The beach at their house was a site for many sea turtle nests during their mating and nesting periods. And I have great memories of going out at night or early in the morning to see many little baby turtles trying to run to the sea. And my grandfather has always been really interested in nature and telling me about the different birds and taking me outside to take a look at what's happening at the beach. The next picture is of my grandmother and my cousin Eve and my Aunt Mary. My grandmother has always been interested in learning more about people around her, especially children. In this picture, her great-grandchild Eve is telling a story about a bad guy who scribbles on library books, a truly dastardly defense. My grandmother has never stopped being amazed at the way children take in and learn about the world. One thing she always says about babies is, look at that baby, you can see it learning through its eyes. It's just taking everything in. And I think that one of the reasons I have such empathy for other people is because I saw it modeled by her and the way that she thinks about how people think and how people learn. So in the next photo, so many of their accomplishments, this is 2 photos of them several decades apart, the first being in the house in Rockland that I ended up growing up in, and the second on their 70th wedding anniversary. So they have had a very long-lasting marriage. And next year will be 75 years of marriage. I can't even imagine that. So congratulations to them. They're an inspiration. So here's a picture of me and my brother with them just a few years ago in California. Still doing great. And then here is a picture of them with all of their adult sons. All 4 sons, no one's climbing on the mantle anymore. So from left to right, it's Dan, Rob, Ben Jr., and my father, Howie. They were so happy to get a picture of all of them together because everybody lives in different places, so it's really nice when they get together. I'm sure you can relate to that as well. And the next picture is here they are with all their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. It's amazing the family they have created, the love they have shared with each other and their family. The legacy of their lives of service, kindness, intelligence, and curiosity lives in me and all of their descendants. I think this is so wonderful because you think of, from the love of 2 people, so many different people come, so many different families are born. And I think that's a legacy that lives on no matter what. Whether you're with people or away from people, those things that you shared with them, the way that you are, it lives on in them. Well, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this look into the lives of 2 grandparents who are very special to me. I wonder what your grandparents were like. You know, I've heard a lot of stories of people talking about when they were kids, what their grandparents were like. Did you relate to any of the stories I shared? I wonder what stories your grandchildren share about you. I bet there are stories that they tell their friends, their Good Morning Hebrew Home show. And what stories you still share about your grandparents. So please feel free to call in and let us know, 2813, or tell your friendly local TAP activities person. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Tune in later today for Wellness with Deborah at 1:30 and On a Musical Note with Peter at 2:30. If you missed any portion of today's show, it will be replayed on Channel 88 at 6:30, and you can find all of our episodes on YouTube. After we end here, we're going to show a few messages from some of your families for Grandparents' Day, so stay tuned and check those out. Well, we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel.
Gigi, it's us. Just wanted to wish you a happy Grandparents' Day, or in the case of Shayna and Asher, a happy Great Grandparents' Day. We love you so much. We think about you and talk about you all the time on this day and every day. And we just wanted to send you our good wishes and our hugs and our kisses.
Happy Grandparents' Day, Gigi. We love you and miss you, and hopefully we can see you, if not in person, but definitely virtually soon.
And we want you to stay well and healthy, and I think about you, and I love you, and I want to see you soon.
Bye, Gigi. We love you. Happy Grandparents' Day. Mwah.
Hi, Grandpa. Happy Grandparents' Day. I love you and miss you, and thank you for being an inspiration to me.
Dad, thanks for being such a terrific grandfather to my kids. We all appreciate your love, your knowledge, your advice, and of course your hugs, and we look forward to receiving them. We love you.
Hey, Nanny. It's Tyler. Happy Grandparents' Day. Love you.
Happy Grandparents' Day, Nanny. Love and miss you.
Happy Grandparents' Day. Happy Grandparents' Day from the puppy as well.
Hey, Nani. Hope everything is okay. We just wanted to wish you a happy Grandmother's Day.
We love you, Nanny. Hope you're doing really well.
Hi, Grandpa. It's Stevela, your favorite grandson, wanting to wish you a happy Grandfather's Day. I love you so much. You are truly, truly the best. I hope everything's going well. I can't wait to see you soon. Hopefully we'll get out of this COVID quarantine, and then you can come and dance at my wedding like you promised. Happy Grandfather's Day. Hope to see you soon in person.
Hi, Bubby. It's Daniel, Pam's son.
Jen and
Olivia.
And we just want to say happy Grandparents' Day, and we love you. Olivia, what do you say?
Happy Grandparents' Day.
And?
I love you.
All right, we'll see you soon. We miss you.
Mwah.
Bye.
Mwah.
Hey, Grandma. Hope you're doing well. Have a great weekend. And happy Grandparents' Day. Hope the weather's nice out there. And I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Happy Grandparents' Day, Shirley.
Shirley, we miss you. We're sorry we can't come personally.
We love you.
Love you, Aunt Cheryl.
Love you, Aunt Cheryl. Bye.
Hey, Grandma Gloria. It's Ryan. I just want to give you a shout out for Grandparents' Day. I love you, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. Bye.
Hi, Grandma. It's Danielle.
And Lloyd.
We just wanted to wish you a happy Grandparents' Day.
Happy Grandparents' Day.
We hope you have a great weekend, and we miss you, and hopefully we'll get to see you soon to celebrate.
Hope to see you soon.
Love you.